Heartless Gitrog. I don't think I've won a single game with this deck. I've tried. It was based off a list that Pleasant Kenobi. All right. We'll play a league. We will play a league with Heartless Summoning. Okay. This hand can work. It's not great, but it can work. We will start Blackmail. With best art, Braids art. Opponent says Thing in the Ice, Electrolyze. So let's get Thing in the Ice. Pass the turn. Opponent starts with a Scalding Tarn and fetches. Finds a Steam Vents and casts Serum Visions. How does this deck win? This deck wins by accruing a ton of value over time and playing a mid-range game plan. So we try and Heartless Summoning to reduce the cost of our creatures, and we play things like Ramanop Excavator, Oracle of Moldiah, Tireless Tracker, a bunch of really like decent mid-range threats that help us accrue value. And our top end is the Gitrog monster and Obnixilis. The Obnixilis that is a creature, not a planeswalker. Oh, play Ramanop Excavator. Unfortunately, full price. Opponent opts. We can also Ghost Quarter our opponent out by constantly playing Ghost Quarters from our graveyard. And Assassin's Trophying out all of their basic lands. Opponent has an Anger of the Gods. Alright. So we play Ghost Quarter. We have two options. We can play Vizier of the Menagerie. This is a singleton in the deck. It helps smooth out our draws when we're doing the Heartless and playing so many lands and stuff. Or we can play another Ramanop Excavator. I don't like playing Ramanop without a way to immediately get value out of it, and Vizier should survive another Anger or a Bolt. Ooh, Encroaching Wastes. That's what we like to see. So the fourth Tectonic Edge ability in Magic, this one doesn't require our opponent to have a certain number of lands. And with Ramanop Excavator, this could get really nasty. Opponent might be Desperation Electrolyzing to draw a card. They are. They really want to hit their land drops. They found one. Alright, well, we draw Encroaching Wastes. We're going to go ahead and just fire it off. We're going to buy it back with Ramanop Excavator next turn. Oh, that's so powerful. Because, like, if they don't draw another land, they're going to be in a world of hurt. Opponent opts. Opponent has cast a lot of cantrips and still seems to be not quite on all of their lands yet. Opponent plays a Field of Ruin. Alright. They pass. We draw an Inquisition of Kozilek. So, Inquisition our opponent. Opponent Cryptics to counter and bounce. Okay. We play Ramanop Excavator. And get back Encroaching Wastes. Perhaps it was correct to have swung first there. Actually, I'm almost certain that was the case. If our opponent wants to crack Field of Ruin for Encroaching Wastes, that's okay. It gets us another black source, which we kind of need at the moment. Opponent bolts our Excavator. Ooh, Tireless Tracker's good. Well, let's Blackmail. They have 4 cards in hand, so this is almost a better Thoughtseize at the moment. Opponent has 2 Spell Snares. We'll take the Opt. Spell Snare isn't going to be relevant unless we cast Assassin's Trophy. So recast Vizier. Assassin's Trophy on top of our deck. Okay. Well, luckily our opponent's Spell Snares are basically dead in hand. Opponent electrolyzes Vizier for 1. Bolts to kill it. We untap and draw Assassin's Trophy. Well, we will play Tireless Tracker. Yeah, let's just do that. We know they're holding 2 Spell Pierces. It's going to make our Ghost Quarters better. And they don't run that many lands. Now, if our opponent gets a red source and has another Bolt, that'd make us really sad. But that's not what happened. Well, they had another Bolt. We draw another Tireless Tracker. Well, let's play a Tracker. Pass the turn. We've done a pretty good job of keeping our opponent off of red sources. Oops, your mana. I left it this way in case we want to Ghost Quarter our opponent, or we're going to Ghost Quarter ourselves to get a clue for Tracker. We're not going to cast Assassin's Trophy because we know they're holding 2 spell snares still. Okay. It is not likely our opponent has another Bolt effect for Tracker, considering they have 3 Lightning Bolts in the grave. So we Ghost Quarter ourselves. Oh my gosh, our opponent has the 4th Lightning Bolt. Sometimes you just draw 4 of. Alright. Well, play Field of Ruin. We're going to Field of Ruin now because our opponent, if our opponent isn't running the 2 mountain plan, we might be able to keep them off of casting a Bedlam Reveler. So let's get a Swamp. Okay. It does cost mana to use Tectonic Edge, and it does cost mana to use Field of Ruin, but thankfully Ghost Quarter is that effect, but only your opponent gets to search for a land, but it doesn't cost to activate. Ooh, Oracle of Moldiah. Well, it's castable. Our opponent would need a heavier counterspell than Spell Snare for this, and probably doesn't have a Bolt. Ooh, Ghost Quarter. There's our summoning. Since our opponent did not fetch a red land, we're going to Ghost Quarter their red land. Well, they have Snapcaster for Bolt. Gosh dang it. Alright. Opponent seems to be out of basic mountains. We still can't cast this Assassin's Trophy because our opponent will be able to answer it for just 1 mana. And they found something that can fetch for a red source. Okay, we draw our Heartless Summoning, which we will cast. Opponent probably Spell Snares. They do. It's the first thing they've seen that costs 2 mana since we pretty much got into this game. Okay, so we know that their hand is still 1 Spell Snare. I get in for 2. We draw a Tireless Tracker. Well, let's play him. Oh my goodness, did they draw a Cryptic? Alright. Opponent Cryptics. Finds a Field of Ruin. Goes to combat, attacks for 2. We take it. We draw a forest. Well, we'll play it. We do need a lot of lands for our late game things. We will probably hold our next land. Opponent Field of Ruins us. Assumes we're probably running out of basics as well. We have 3 left. They get in for 2. We take it. Opponent casts a cantrip. Pass his turn. Ooh, we draw life from the loam. That's what we want. So let's get an Encroaching Wastes, a Ghost Quarter, and a Ghost Quarter. If our opponent spell snares this, we snap off Assassin's Trophy onto Snapcaster Mage. Opponent lets us have it. So we play Ghost Quarter. Pass the turn. Opponent casts a Vendilion Click. Targets themselves. Let's see what they reveal. Spell Pierce. That means they're still holding their other Spell Snare. Okay. Opponent goes to combat. Gets in for 5. We take it and go to 3. Opponent fetches with Scalding Tarn. Finds his Steam Vents. Shocks it in. And they have Snapcaster for Bolt. Even if we try and destroy the Steam Vents, they can just float the mana and kill us. That's unfortunate. Alright, so for the sideboard, we're going to bring in Dark Blast, Collective Brutality, a couple of Tormod's Crypts, Thragtusk, Pulse of Marasas, and Surgicals. Maybe not Surgicals. We might not need Surgical. I think it's probably still worth it. Okay, so our opponent has a Bolt deck, which means we're probably going to have to cut some number of Oracles. And let's see, Blackmail isn't as good. We can cut one land. Obnixilis dies to Bolt, so we're going to cut at least one. Probably cut one Summoning because they have so many Spell Snares. I changed my mind about Dark Blast. And We'll cut one more summoning. Try like that. We just need to draw one more land. Actually, we don't. We could Ghost Quarter ourselves here if we had to. It wouldn't be the best, but we could. So start with a forest, pass the turn. Opponent plays a Scalding Tarn and fetches. They find a Steam Vents. Plays a Serum Visions. They put 2 cards on top of their deck. Hopefully we draw a black land here. That's a black land. We play Heartless Summoning. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Thing in the Ice. Ooh, we draw Windswept Heath. So this should be fun. We play a Tracker. Play a Windswept Heath. Always yield to. Fetch up a forest. Play Oracle of Moldiah. We have a Gitrog monster on top. Play Ghost Quarter. And pass the turn. That was a pretty good turn. Opponent abrades to kill Oracle of Moldiah. Surgical's Oracle of Moldiah. That's going to shuffle away our Gitrog monster, unfortunately, but we did side out most of our oracles anyway. I wonder how much she goes for right now. She's less than $1 online. Okay, opponent's making us exile our fetch land. We draw a Windswept Heath. Well, let's play it. Fetch up a forest. Keep building up them clues. Okay, let's crack a clue. Get this tracker a little bit bigger. Okay, we draw Swamp. Alright. We'll cast Thragtusk. Pass the turn. The good news is we have an extreme amount of resources compared to our opponent at the moment. Okay, opponent makes us exile our land. Plays an island. Passes the turn. Play the Marsh Flats. Investigate. We should be able to get Tracker out of bolt range now. Get a Swamp. This card is so good. Start attacking. Okay, let's crack a clue. Draw a card. Another Heartless Summoning. That one's probably overkill. We'll crack a clue. Draw a card. A second Ramanop Excavator. That's good news. Alright, we'll call it there. Opponent Cryptic Command to bounce Tracker and draw a card. Okay. Thrag Daddy gets in. That's what Saffron Olive calls it. I don't know why I called it that. Yeah, we'll pass a turn. We're probably going to just draw another card. going to be kind of hard for our opponent to beat this much value. Okay, they make us exile the Marsh Flats. So this doesn't look exactly like I was thinking the deck would look. Our opponent's deck anyway. It looks like they're more just a Thing in the Ice deck. Okay. Crack a clue, draw a card. Opponent Fields of Ruin, our Ghost Quarter. They might try and surgical that. We will get a Forest, since we're holding a swamp. We draw a Pulse of Murasa. That's good. Ooh, Sword Tooth. We'll start swamp. Get in for 4. Opponent doesn't block. Play a Sword Tooth. Play a Ramanop Excavator. This might, we played a land already, but our opponent might crack the Relic in response. Okay. So we'll just Pulse of Murasa here. If our opponent wants to counter this, this is going to be a mostly irrelevant spell. Okay. Opponent exiles all cards from the graveyards. Excavator resolves. We play a tracker. So good. Okay, opponent decides to opt in response rather than letting it resolve. We get a beast. This does deny us a land play off of Sword Tooth, but that's okay. Opponent gets to draw a card. And tracker resolves. Opponent plays a Misty Rainforest. And they fetch a Steam Vents. Shock it in. A second Thing in the Ice. And they're going to start removing counters now. I like playing decks that are like grindier naturally than just all-in combo or beat face. I like anything that lets you feel powerful, but oh my gosh, a third Thing in the Ice. Alright, we'll chump with a beast. Tormod's Crypt. Well, it's free. Play a Sword Tooth. Play a Ghost Quarter. Play an Excavator. Play a Thragtusk. Ghost Quarter a land. Replay Ghost Quarter. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Vendilion Click. Takes a peek at their own hand. Doesn't like the card they're holding. Ancestral Vision. Yeah, that'd be a little slow at this point. Plays a Relic. Gets in for 7. We'll take it. They're at 4. We're at 31. Okay, their end step. Draw a card. Untap. Draw land. Crack another clue. Ooh, second tracker's good. Play tracker. Play a land. More clues. This card is nuts. Play Field of Ruin. I think we're out of basics. So we have 3 lethal creatures that can attack. They have to block all 3 of them in order to not die. Yeah, let's do it. Opponent, Desperation cracks a relic. Blocks with Thing. Blocks with Vendilion Click. And dies? Oh, they drew the Bolt. Bolt for the Thrag Tusk. Now we get a Beast. Kill some stuff. Yeah, pass the turn. Opponent has to draw any non-land spell, basically. And they don't. We win the game. 1-1 in this round. Alright. I'm going to bring 1 Heartless Summoning back in. And we're going to drop Pulse of Marasa. It seems kind of cute. I'm actually going to drop both of those. Maybe not. I don't know. The life gain's really good. Yeah. We didn't need it last game. VODs of old streams go there too. This is a little bit of a slow hand, but I think it's okay. We'll keep. Opponent starts Island. Alright, we get a Loam. Start Windswept Heath. Fetch up an Overgrown Tomb and Inquisition of Kozilek. Opponent has Spell Snare, Opt, Lightning Bolt, Anger of the Gods. We'll take Bolt. They only have 7 minutes left on the clock. Anything we can do to slow them down is useful. Opponent opts. The good news is, Fatal Push dodges Spell Snare. They drew Polluted Delta. And we get a Windswept Heath. Play Windswept Heath, pass the turn. Actually, let's fetch up a Forest and Loam here. We have Sword Tooths in hand, so if this resolves, we're going to have a heyday. Opponent probably Spell Snares this. They fetch with Polluted Delta. Find a Steam Vents. Tapped. They let it resolve. Okay, cool. Opponent casts their second Opt. So we know they are holding an Anger of the Gods, Spell Snare, and a Mountain. We know half of their hand. They're holding 6 cards. Opponent plays the Mountain. Passes the turn. We will not Dredge Loam. We get a Ghost Quarter. Play the Ghost Quarter. Play Wayward Swordtooth. The good news is Obnixilis is coming down soon. Ooh. And Obnixilis is going to do a lot of work. They always have 4 bolts, so only 2 cards we don't know. That's a good point. You're probably right there, Midnight Pearl. Good guess. Okay, opponent has a Snapcaster Mage. Probably for an Opt here. Okay, we'll wait for them to cast it. Alright. So we will fetch an Overgrown Tomb. And push the Snapcaster. Next turn, if they don't kill Swordtooth, we can cast Obnixilis, and if it resolves, we will play a fetch land, and our opponent will be very sad. Okay, opponent shocks in a Steam Vents. That probably means Cryptic. We draw an Assassin's Trophy. Well, play the Forest. We will cast another Swordtooth. Probably should have tapped Ghost Quarter there. Okay. That saves our Ob from the Cryptic. Play Windswept Heath. Pass the turn. Almost to the City's Blessing for Sword Tooth. Opponent plays a Field of Ruin. For Jace the Mind Sculptor. Opponent goes to Brainstorm. We'll let this resolve, make them think that they don't need the Spell Snare. Fetch up a Forest. And Assassin's Trophy, the Jace. Perfect. Opponent counters that. Okay, so this turn, we untap, we Dredge Loam, one, two, three, four, five. So we Loam first. Play a Ghost Quarter. Play Obnixilis. Play a Fetch Land. Target our opponent. Save targets. Always yield. The green screen makes it seem as if the water's animated at the bottom. Oh, that's actually really cool! I didn't notice. Always yield to. So we make a really big Obnixilis. Kill Jace. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent Serum Visions. Okay, opponent passes turn. We'll Dredge Loam. And opponent scoops it up. We win! This is a really risky but super tempting hand. I'm going to mulligan, though. Oh, this is good. We'll keep. Yeah, we'll keep. Opponent starts Arid Mesa. We start Windswept Heath. Pass the turn. This could be like red-white prison, maybe even blue-white-red control. Get an Overgrown Tomb, pass the turn. Play a swamp, cast a Heartless Summoning. See what our opponent does. It resolves. Oh man, Gitrog's coming. Chub Toad. I hope you're ready, opponent, for the frog. Opponent fetches with Arid Mesa and finds a Plains. Oh my gosh, are we getting Blood Mooned? No! I should have fetched a forest. Alright, well, we do run a lot of forests. Okay, everything's okay. Don't panic. We got there. Play Froggy. Play Swamp. Pass the turn. I'll give a fellow IT some love, even though you're on the wrong side. Fair enough. Okay. Well, let's sack this Overgrown Tomb, because it's not doing anything for us right now. We get to draw a card. Ooh. Loam and Blackmail. Well, let's start with Blackmail. Oh, that's not the right flavor text. The Braids flavor text is so much better. Opponent has Nahiri, Nahiri, and Lightning Helix. We'll take Nahiri. Awesome! Thank you, Midnight Pearl, for following. I appreciate it a lot. That means, at the end of this stream, we're going to open 66 treasure chests, or plus any we win from this stream itself. So we're going to play a tracker. Play a Ghost Quarter. Always yield to. Opponent Lightning Helix. All right. Tracker's basically going to be a cantrip here, but that's okay. We're not going to attack because our opponent still has a Nahiri. Opponent has Declaration in Stone for the monster. Let's draw a card. Swordtooth. Swordtooth's really good here. Okay. We got another clue. Opponent passes. Ooh. It's too bad we don't have another green source right now. Let's loam. You're on the technical side, although I didn't deal with you guys. You're only level 1 tech. Oh, well, that's cool. Either way. I've actually moved sort of away from programmer. They've put me as a systems, I think the title is like systems automation engineer. The IT guys were having some trouble with like infrastructure creation and things. So I'm helping them automate their whole process because we've got a bunch of legacy IT. We'll dredge loam. Opponent lands a Chandra. That's kind of bad for us. They add mana. And that's it. I do some scripting, yeah. Play Swordtooth. Play Forest. Play Excavator. Play Ghost Quarter. Get the City's Blessing. Pass the turn. We need a way to draw cards, and relatively fast. Opponent adds mana. Plays Gideon. I'm a noob at that. I wish I had more time to learn, but work is so busy. Yeah, scripting is not like an overnight development. I started programming really early on. When I was about 8 years old, I started learning to program just because I had access to a computer and really wanted to know how games worked. And it was a lot of fun. But alright, we'll play another Ramanop Excavator. We will just cast an empty life from the loam there. Pass the turn. Scripting or programming needs concentration. I get bothered every 5 to 10 minutes with a call. Yes. Yes, it does. Constantly being interrupted is agonizing when you're trying to code something. Opponent lands Nahiri. Well, we are probably not going to survive Planeswalker Tron. We need to draw an Assassin's Trophy off the top of our deck so that we can answer this Chandra. As long as our opponent doesn't have a single piece of removal, we can at least kill Gideon here. Swamp is not what we want to see. See if we can kill Gideon. I could learn it at home, but I'm enjoying working on hardware right now and just got myself an old Cisco switch and I'm learning to configure it. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, hardware is probably where I struggle the most. Opponent loots with Nahiri. They discard a Nahiri. And they have an Anger of the Gods. Programming is way more useful anyway. You can easily find jobs. It is okay, so the issue where I'm at is programming is really, really high in demand, but the pool, like the talent pool, is a million miles wide and not much deeper than a spoon in most areas. Like, you can find programmers for, like, any grunt work you need done. You can get, like, an army of college graduates because they all need jobs. We're probably dying to Emrakul here, aren't we? Well, we're not dead to it, but we're taking so much damage. And we're dead to 2 Chandra Tickups. But yeah, like, we can get a ton of... Actually, I'm going to sack this Heartless summoning. We can get a ton of graduates. But for the people who are, like, really talented at it, there's, like, an infinite amount of job security. And you can get a ton of... You can negotiate for a really high salary. And we died in Nahiri, unfortunately. Ugh. Alright. Well, partially our fault for not playing around Blood Moon. All of our fault for all of my fault for not playing around Blood Moon. So we bring in some hate for our opponent's deck. And we drop a couple of oracles. Probably Fatal Pushes. They don't seem to hit anything on our opponent's deck. And we'll drop one summoning, I think. Try like that. If you know Linux even more, you might travel a lot more, though. Absolutely true. We'll keep this. Kind of a slow hand, but at the very least we get to play a tracker. Hopefully we draw some other lands, though. I remember we used to hire a freelance Linux coder or scripter every now and then because nobody knows enough about it. Yeah, it often feels like that, doesn't it? Alright, that shuts off a lot of our recursion, but our opponent blew 3 cards to accomplish that. And we don't need the recursion to win, especially not with a tracker on board. Play Windswept Heath, pass the turn. I'm playing the fetch land here instead of one of the basics just because I'm worried our opponent's going to like try to Molten Rain us. Fetch up a forest. Ooh, Oracle's fun. Tireless Tracker is really not as good in Modern from the looks of it. Oh, you mean like as it is in Standard? No, but it does make kind of a splash. It's a fairly decent card. Okay, opponent did not have immediate removal for it. Alright, we get to bank a bunch of clues. Yes. It has rotated out with Shadows over Innistrad. Yeah, it was definitely a powerhouse. Let's get in for 3. Luckily we have a Pithing Needle for what I assume to be a Planeswalker coming down next turn. Okay, opponent casts a Blood Moon, which isn't super useful. Let's crack a clue. Draw our Sword Tooth. Play Windswept Heath. Let's get this Inquisition going. Opponent has another Declaration in Stone and a Simian Spirit Guide. So let's take the deck in Stone. Play a Swamp. Get in for 2. Opponent draws a land. Okay. Let's crack our last two and draw a card. Every deck had him. Even monocolored decks put 4 in, just with no way to cast him. That's how good it was. I don't know if it was that good, but it was good. Okay, let's play a Sword Tooth. Play a land. Play a land. And our opponent scoops up. Yeah, it turns out when you try and blow your whole hand on a rest in peace versus a deck that doesn't need it to win, you're probably going to lose. We could bring in Damping Sphere because they have filter lands, but they're already playing Blood Moon, so that's way too cute. Though, fun fact, this does turn off the filter lands. Like Mystic Gate, Rugged Prairie, those. It is an unfortunate interaction I ran into. Alright, this hand needs to draw a land, but is otherwise good. Opponent starts Arid Mesa. This deck kind of existed in Standard. Yeah, I think it did for a while. Inquisition. Opponent has Blood Moon, Lightning Helix, and Gideon Draw. So we can take Lightning Helix, but like Blood Moon doesn't do that much. We have one of each of our basics here. Let's take the Lightning Helix. Opponent fetches with Arid Mesa. Finds a Sacred Foundry tapped. They play their Rugged Prairie. One unknown in hand. What other landfall card it had? I'm not sure. Oh, we drew another Inquisition. Let's dismiss all of those. Take the Blood Moon. Play the Forest. Pass the turn. Did they run that Yachty offshoot, the little plant thing? All right, we draw Assassin's Trophy, so we can answer the Planeswalker when it comes down. Opponent shocks Sacred Foundry. Casts a Chandra. Well then. See if they use the mana. They don't. Ramanat for the longest time saw no play until someone figured out he was good. That's true. Alright, we got a Windswept Heath. So let's fetch up a Forest and play Sword Tooth. Pass the turn. See what our opponent does. I kind of wanted to Assassin's Trophy, but our opponent was going to cast Gideon anyway. Okay, opponent casts out. Ooh. Alright. We play Heartless Summoning. Excavator. Land from the grave. Pass the turn. Actually. Okay, never mind. I was going to say we could fetch there to get another card out of our hand. Actually, probably should have second main played a creature, but wasn't thinking because I was talking too much. Opponent plays Elspeth, Sun's Champion. Well, that's a lot of soldiers. Okay, let's fetch an Overgrown Tomb. Play an excavator. Tracker. Tracker. Windswept Heath. Get some investigate tokens. Play a Sword Tooth. We now return to Too Many Clues. Play a Forest. And let's trophy the Torch of Defiance. Just so it doesn't ult. Opponent will get to cast Gideon and have a ton of blockers. Hopefully we can find another Assassin's Trophy off the top with our myriad of clues. Hopefully our opponent also does not have an Anger of the Gods now. Opponent plays a Plains. Goes to combat. Attacks for 3. Yeah, we'll take it. If they have an Anger, we're getting punished for it, but we would turn on our opponent's bolts if we blocked. Opponent has a Wrath. That's pretty bad for us. We've got to find an answer to this Elspeth, and fast. Well, there's a Sword Tooth. Let's draw a card. Draw another card. Play the Sword Tooth. Play a Marsh Flats. Get a Swamp. Pass the turn. Ob needs flying. Yeah, his other incarnation has it. Other creature incarnation, I think. Opponent gets in for 3. Pretty sure our opponent's last card's Gideon, so if blocking now is fine. Opponent gets more dudes. Plays Mr. Man himself. Taunts. Okay. Let's hope for some good draws. Collective Brutality. That doesn't really do it. Summoning is not that great either. Tireless Tracker. Swamp. You got small arms. I think we need Assassin's Trophy or we die. I think this means we are dead. We can kill a token with Collective Brutality, but they're going to have flying, and we have to attack. Gideon takes it. Play Tracker. 2 mode. Kill and drain. Pitch our second summoning. Yep, I think we die exactly to Elspeth ult. Yep. Opponent gets a flying Gideon. Alright. We take a boatload of damage. This is a really risky hand. It's got everything we could ever want except lands. We're going to mulligan. Oh, we're going to mulligan again. Alright. I'll keep this one. Excavator to the bottom. We need another land. Opponent plays a Darksteel Citadel. And Chromatic Sphere. Looks like this is eggs. We'll start Windswept Heath. Pass the turn. When's the chest opening? I was planning on at the end of this stream. I'm wondering if it should be an announced event, but I think in order to keep my word, I'll do it at the end of this stream. Or maybe we open... Nah, we'll do it at the end of this stream. For anyone who misses it, it will be up on the YouTube. We are doing a 100 chest opening at the end of this stream. Okay, Chromatic Sphere. Let's get an Overgrown Tomb. Ooh. Gitrog. Put your title up before the time. Might get people in. That's not a bad one. Not a bad idea there. Okay, opponent plays an Ichor Wellspring. Draws a card. We'll play a Field of Ruin and play a Tireless Tracker. Oh, if I tap correctly, that is. We will play a Tireless Tracker. Opponent has Ironworks. This probably means we're dead. We haven't really been able to interact with our opponent in any meaningful way. There's the Trawler. Well, the instant they hit me a Retriever, this is an infinite combo. Opponent has another Mox Opal. Yeah, I hate combos too. Our opponents have to be cool guys about it. And there it is. Opponent can draw their whole deck, go completely infinite. I ain't sitting through that. Okay. Pithing Needle, Tormods, Surgical, Dampening. What do we take out? We take out... We probably have to take out Oracles of Moldiah. I think Gitrog is going to be a little slow and grindy. Probably go down on the Heartless plan. Drop a push. Try like this. See what happens. Also, thank you so much for everybody who's shown up today. It has been an incredibly active stream, and I'm very proud of that. Thanks, guys. I really could use the confidence boost right now. Oh, we need the extirpate we have on the side as well. Probably over the last push. Maybe not. Oh well. Took out the pushes. Here we go. Alright, well, this looks like a hand, so we're going to keep. Maybe we can hate out our opponent's, what our opponent's doing. So start Windswept Heath. Crack it. Get an Overgrown Tomb. If it helps, you earned that follow. Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Opponent. We're going to take Ancient Stirrings and play a Tormod script. Pass the turn. If our opponent wants to try an Engineered Explosives on 0 to kill Tormod script, I am not upset about it. Opponent has kept a 1-lander, so we'll see if they get punished for that. Okie dokie. So opponent plays the island. Probably Terrarian or actually Chromatic Star. They play Terrarian. That means they probably drew a land. Hopefully this Dampening Sphere will come down fast enough. Now every time they cast a spell in a turn, it costs 1 more. The nice thing about green-black is you get so many, like, really powerful, brutal hate cards. That Mox Opal. Makes your cards cast more. Cost more. Cast more? That. Ooh. Well, let's play a Forest and a Tireless Tracker. Pass the turn. Opponent has multiple hate pieces they have to answer. Okay, they gain 1 life. Welcome new viewers to the stream. I'm Kano. I play Jank and Modern, usually drunk, but currently sober. Earlier today we were playing Oops All Modern Spells. We have hit our follower goal, and so at the end of this league, which will be the end of the stream, we are opening 60-some treasure chests that I have accumulated over my time streaming, because we have hit our 100-follower goal. Opponent starts by cracking Terrarian to draw a card. Adds red and green to their mana pool. Casts Engineered Explosives on 3. They are not afraid of the Dampening Sphere. Okay. We're going to Inquisition to take Psi, I think. Yeah, we're taking the Master Thopterist here. We could have played Excavator to play a land out of the grave, but with Engineered Explosives on 3, I think we're going to avoid doing so. Pass the turn. Opponent gains a life. Opponent plays a Pyrite Spellbomb. Shoots down our Tireless Tracker. And plays Chromatic Sphere. Last card in hand is Mind Stone. Alright. So, we'll play a Ramanop Excavator and get back our Windswept Heath. Our opponent will probably have to spend their turn, or our turn on our next turn, dealing with it using Engineered Explosives. Or maybe they get greedy and wait. I'm not certain. Opponent blows up our Excavator. Cracks Chromatic Star. If they go to Buried Ruin, we will probably crack Tormod's Crypt in response. Let's get our other Overgrown Tomb. Untap. We draw a Forest. Well, let's play Ob. He should be a relatively quick clock for our opponent. It may have been right to wait until next turn, but I can't imagine our opponent will have an answer for him now. They wouldn't be able to set Engineered Explosives on 5. They would need multiple burn spells. Something. Or other. Opponent thinking real hard about what they want to do right now. Okay, opponent plays an Ironworks. They sack Mox Opal. Crack Chromatic Sphere. Buried Ruin for Engineered Explosives. So we crack Tormod's Crypt. And opponent has another Mox Opal. Opponent passes turn. We play a Forest. Power up Ob Nixilis. Get in for 6. And we have lethal next turn, provided they don't kill us and don't have an answer for Ob. Oh wait, no we don't. We have lethal if we draw a fetch land, because they gain a life. The opponent has 2 cards in their hand. We don't know what they are. They crack for another card. Opponent finds a Darksteel Citadel. Opponent looks like they're cracking Inventor's Fair. They have another Mox Opal. Opponent will need to be careful about their mana as they are under the effects of Dampening Sphere. Opponent plays a Mirror Retriever as a blocker. Well, that's nice. We find an Oracle of Moldiah. So we cast it. Second Dampening Sphere on top. We would love to use Ob's ability. Attack for 9. Opponent does not block. They gain 1 life. I don't know how our opponent gets out of this one. Opponent sacks Mox Opal. They are paying for something very expensive. Oh, they sack Inventor's Fair. Okay. What do they find? Could be Aether Spellbomb to bounce Ob, though I'm not sure that actually does anything. Engineered Explosives. Not sure. Opponent gets a Mox Opal. Okay. Oh, this lets him put Engineered Explosives on too. But you don't have any more mana. Opponent concedes! I think they played that one out a little hard, but we got him. I think we bring back in 1 Fatal Push, probably over Vizier of the Menagerie. Just so that our fetch lands can kill like a Scrap Trawler or something, so we can limit how long their combo can go. Alright. Ooh, Inquisition Surgical and lands for Tireless Tracker. I think this is the hand we need to keep. Opponent starts with Buried Ruin, Chromatic Sphere, Mox Opal. We start Swamp Inquisition. We get an Ichor Wellspring and a Sigh. Let's take Sigh. Pass the turn. He's not our Surgical Extraction target, though. Just a way to limit our opponent's clock. Opponent cracks Chromatic Sphere, plays Grove, and Ichor Wellspring. We draw and play Damping Sphere. Pass the turn. Opponent has a handful of cards that we don't even know anymore. Opponent plays a second Ichor Wellspring. And Inventor's Fair. And Chromatic Sphere. Alright. We play Ghost Quarter and Tireless Tracker. Opponent gets an Inventor's Fair trigger. So, opponent's deck runs 3 basics on average. Good for us to know. Opponent cracks Chromatic Sphere for a green. And plays a 3rd Ichor Wellspring. Opponent drawing a lot of cards. Plays a Darksteel Citadel. And a Pyrite Spellbomb. Well, unfortunately, that means they can kill our Tireless Tracker. We draw a 2nd Ghost Quarter. Pass the turn. Opponent gains 1 off of Inventor's Fair. Opponent plays a Yavimaya Coast. Chromatic Sphere. Passes the turn. We draw an Inquisition. Well, our opponent does have 2 cards in hand, so we will Inquisition now. There's Scrap Trawler. Okay. Play a swamp. Pass the turn. Opponent's deck is making the field very small. Opponent sacks Inventor's Fair to go get Ironworks, I assume. Engineered Explosives. Opponent puts it on 2. I think they need Scrap Trawler, so I'm going to go ahead and Surgical that. Oh, shoot. I forgot they had Buried Ruin. Oh, that was a huge punt on my part. We'll play Field of Ruin. I knew I was waiting for something. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, man. And I wonder why I'm awful at this game. I'm used to playing with Extirpate because I haven't had Surgicals until recently. They're so expensive. Opponent gets a Trawler. Does nothing with it. We draw a Sword Tooth. We play out our hand, get the City's Blessing, pass the turn. Opponent cracks Engineered Explosives. Gets a handful of cards. And we are almost certainly dead. See, now, if I had Surgical'd, we would be in an amazing spot. However, I did not do that. Alright. Opponent's got it. Sorry about that. We are 1 and 2. This is not a playable hand. This might be, but I would really like both colors. Thank you. Tireless Tracker to the bottom. Boy, this hand hate's going to do wonders versus the deck that dumps its whole hand. Oh, gosh. Well, let's Inquisition. Oh! And here I thought we were playing a reasonable deck. Opponent is playing the Mir Superion version of... This is Blue Steel, I think is called. Well, let's take the 5/6. Pass the turn. Nice art on that Superion, by the way. Opponent draws and plays another Memnite. Blue steel like in Zoolander? I actually don't know that reference. We play a forest, pass the turn. Opponent does have a 4 damage burn spell in hand now that they have 4 0-mana artifacts on, or 3 0-mana artifacts on the field, which means our first creature is probably going to be Wayward Swordtooth. Just because it is the only creature we have that survives. Okay, opponent gets in for 3. We take it. No choice. Opponent still has not drawn. That's tempting. Play Ghost Quarter. Play Swordtooth. Play Windswept Heath. Pass the turn. Also, welcome new viewer to the stream. Opponent finally draws a Spire of Industry. And plays a Chief Engineer. They can convoke out this Ethereum Sculptor if it is their desire. It is, or appears to be. Opponent gets in for 2. We take it and go to 11. Fetch up our other Overgrown Tomb. We draw an Assassin's Trophy. Well, let's Ghost Quarter the Glimmer Void. Play a Ramanop Excavator. Get back our Ghost Quarter. Ghost Quarter the Spire of Industry. Hopefully we can take them off red for this Galvanic Blast. We cannot. Oh, shoot. Well, that was terribly awful of me. Okay, we get it back anyway. Play the Ghost Quarter. Take out the red source. Opponent Galvanic Blasts the Excavator. That might have been a questionable line. I assumed our opponent was playing less basics. Opponent plays an Ensoul Artifact. Is that lethal? That might be lethal. Well then. Opponent plays a Consulate Dreadnought. Spicy. Opponent gets in for 9. I think that does it for this game. We will be doing the chest opening after this round if we lose, for anyone who's curious that has joined. Okay, that's game 1. Game 2, let's bring in Dark Blast, Collective Brutality, Damnation, Thragtusk, and Pulses. And let's go down Blackmail and Inquisitions. Try like that. I think this is a fine hand to keep. We start Marsh Flats and pass the turn. Depending on how fast our opponents start determines what we do. Opponent plays a Mox Opal. And an island. And that's it. Okay, well, we are going to fetch up an Overgrown Tomb. Ooh, we draw the Gitrog monster. This is going to be fun. Play Heartless Summoning, pass the turn. If our opponent counters this, that's okay. We have enough lands that we will make it to our high drops. It also means that they're not countering our Collective Brutality. Opponent plays a Spire of Industry. Mox Opal is still a long way offline. Opponent plays the Looter Scooter. We draw a Pulse of Marasa. I kind of like Oracle here. Lets us have more lands on the battlefield for the eventual Gitrog. Also might get us deeper into our deck. Fatal Push on top seems good. Opponent plays another island. Opponent plays a Lupine Prototype. Spicy. It's for crewing the Dreadnought, because it's a 2-mana 5/5. Interesting. Not sure if I approve of that. Opponent crews up the Copter. Gets in for 3. Loots. Opponent discards a Master of Ethereum. I get in for 3. No blocks. Because we can't. Ooh. Ooh. Yay, lands. Play the Gitrog monster. That lets us draw our Tireless Tracker. Alright. Search our deck. Let's get an Overgrown Tomb. Tapped. We will play a Tireless Tracker. Hold up Fatal Push and get in for 1. Opponent takes it. I think. Yep. Okay. Hold up Fatal Push, see what our opponent does. We probably will just nail the Smuggler's Copter. Unless, of course, our opponent plays like a Grand... Well, no, we can't do anything about like a Grand Architect at the moment. Opponent plays a Chief Engineer. Opponent plays a Mere Superion. Opponent plays an Ethereum Sculptor. Opponent fires up the copter. Oh, I should have, at the beginning of combat, pushed it so they didn't get to loot. That's a slight punt. Well, we'll let them loot, and then we'll blow it up. I think opponent decided not to loot. Then it wasn't a punt after all. They have a stubborn denial. We're going to draw a lot of cards this turn. So, we float mana, sack a land, draw a card, we will Assassin's Trophy, blow up the Superion, okay, we draw an Excavator. Ooh, it only costs one. Play Excavator. Play a Windswept Heath. Investigate. Play a Marsh Flats. Investigate. Play a Forest. Investigate. Fetch up a Swamp. Draw a card. Fetch up a Forest. Draw a card. Ooh. We do want that. Make tracker bigger. Draw a card. Three mode. Actually, wait. 3 mode. Nope, not that one. As I was saying, 3 mode. Target here. Target here. Target here. We will pitch Heartless Summoning and Windswept Heath to draw Thragtusk. Feels good. Opponent has a Master of Ethereum in hand. Dark Blast to finish that off. Get in for a bunch. Opponent goes to 9. Opponent probably can't kill us this turn. Definitely can't kill us this turn. We are drawing a Damnation, but I think that hurts us more than helps us. Actually, it doesn't, because we're holding Thragtusk and Pulse of Marasa. So we get to swing in, blow up the board, cast fatties. Seems good. Opponent plays a Master of Ethereum. Opponent crews up the Copter. Opponent's going to attack for 1,000,000. And that's okay. They choose not to loot. We block here, I think. Yeah, take 6. We crack a clue. We draw a card. We do not dredge Dark Blast. We sack a land. We do not dredge Dark Blast. We draw Ghost Quarter. Tracker's good. Alright, let's attack. Opponent's going to have to block here. Opponent has no cards in hand. I don't really see how they come back from this. We are going to gain so much life. Okay, opponent blocks the Gitrog monster. They trade, they take 4. We play a forest from the grave and investigate. We damnation. And play Thragtusk. Gaining life. Feels good. Pass the turn. Opponent has to somehow stop us from attacking and kill us. Opponent plays a Master of Ethereum. They're going to fire up the copter, try and get in. Or are they going to hold back to block? They hold back. We do not dredge Dark Blast. We draw another Heartless Summoning. Cast Tracker. Get in with Thragtusk. See what our opponent does. If they block it, we're buying back Thragtusk with Pulse of Marasa and just gaining way more life than they can ever deal with. This does decrease the size of Master of Ethereum. Opponent is playing really slowly. They take the 4. They changed their mind. Well, in this case, we're going to get back the Gitrog monster. Because he's cool. Gain 6 life. Play the monster. Play Ghost Quarter. Investigate. And pass the turn. We will have 3 lethal threats next turn. Alright, going on, game 3. Yeah, try like this. Put a plays a Kessig Wolf Run. Spicy. And a Consulate Dreadnought. Okay, we draw. Oracle of Moldiah. Play Marsh Flats, pass the turn. Opponent plays an island. Plays an Ethereum Sculptor. We get an Overgrown Tomb. We draw the Gitrog monster. Perfect. Play Marsh Flats. Get a Swamp. Heartless Summoning. Pass the turn. We're going to play so many lands next turn. Plays a Darksteel Citadel. Gets in for 1. What are they holding? Okay, we draw a forest. That's good. Let's see. Play Tracker. Play the forest. Get a clue. Play Oracle. Play Ghost Quarter. Pass the turn. Damnation on top seems good. Opponent plays a Glimmer Void. Looks like they have a Galvanic Blast for Tracker. Alright, we're not too broken up about that. Plays a Memnite. They could have a Lupine Prototype in their hand, which would allow them to animate the Dreadnought. Opponent gets in for 1. Well, we're not going to block that. Okay, we draw Damnation. Well, we play the monster. Play the forest. Play the excavator. Play the marsh flats. Crack it to draw Tireless Tracker. We fetch a basic swamp. Play Tracker. This feels so good, by the way. Play Marsh Flats. Crack it. Draw Assassin's Trophy. Play an Overgrown Tomb. Untapped. Investigate. Let's blow up this Dreadnought now, because they can't crew it to, I don't know. Let's do it now. Looks like they have the Stubborn Denial. Okay. Well, that was happening regardless. If they were able to animate it next turn, all that means is that they would have been able to counter it without question, rather than just having a permission counter. Opponent plays Master of Ethereum. Well, they can crew the Dreadnought now if they want. If they do, we will trade the monster off for it. I think. Yeah, we would trade the monster for it. Okay, cruise up the Dreadnought. Actually, let's just chump with Excavator here. We'll draw a bunch of cards first. Crack a Clue, power up Tracker, draw Ghost Quarter, sack the swamp, draw a card. Okay. Draw Assassin's Trophy. Play Excavator. Play the swamp. Get a clue. Assassin's Trophy the Dreadnought. Opponent can get a basic. Ghost Quarter the Kessig Wolf Run. Draw Assassin's Trophy. Assassin's Trophy, the Master of Ethereum. And our opponent scoops it up. We win the match. We'll keep this hand. Opponent starts Flooded Strand. Thanks, Conley84, for the follow. I do appreciate it. Opponent fetches a Hallowed Fountain. Oh, it's Bant Spirits. Well, this hand is a little bit slow, but that speeds it way up. Opponent plays a Cavern on Spirit. Casts a Gitrog Skull Captain. Okay. Well, we start Tracker. Play a Forest. Get a Clue. Play Sword Tooth. Play a Forest. Play Tracker. Turn on the City's Blessing. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a second Gitrog Skull Captain. Gets in for a bunch. Do they have anything else? Doesn't look like it. We draw land. That's good. Play Tracker. Opponent paths a Sword Tooth. Sure. We get a Forest. Play Tracker. Play Ghost Quarter. Get a million clues. Draw a card. We draw Blackmail. Our opponent is out of cards. If we attack, they just block with Gitrog Skull Captain, but then we would sack... Yeah. We'd sack a clue and trade with a Lord. I think that's fine. Okay. We Ghost Quarter the Mutavault if they animate it to attack. We are going to have a team of trackers that are huge. One might say a wall of trackers. And they drew a Lord off the top, and they kill us. That's pretty unfortunate. Well, we're almost done. After this round, we will be doing the chest opening. So what do we drop? Some blackmails, because they're bad. Probably, we don't actually need like the pulse, maybe not. Drop an Oracle and maybe another Oracle. Draw like that. Alright, let's play first. We have a Brutality and a Fatal Push, but we need green mana. We'll keep. Start with a Swamp, pass the turn. Opponent fetches and finds an island. Plays a Mausoleum Wanderer. Well, we will push that. We draw a Ramanop Excavator. Pass the turn. We really need some green mana here. Opponent has a second Mausoleum Wanderer. There's the green mana. Alright. Fetch up a forest. Okay, 3 mode. Duress, kill, drain. Pitch an excavator. And actually, let's just 2 mode it. Kill and duress. Pitch 1 excavator. Opponent sacks Mausoleum Wanderer. We pay 1. We get to duress. And they fetch a Hallowed Fountain. Tapped. They have no instants and sorceries, but like 5 reflector mages. Ouch. Opponent plays a Gitrog Skull Captain that they drew off the top. We draw a Sword Tooth. We could trophy the captain, because otherwise they're going to make their team hexproof for the rest of time, but I think we have to play the excavator to hit a lion drops here. Like, we're probably not going to win unless we draw Damnation. Opponent bounces the excavator. Gets in for 2. Yeah, they have Spell Queller, but they also have, like, Collected Company. I don't know why I hit yes. I meant to hit no. Unfortunately, we did not draw a land. They do have green, yes. Usually they run Collective Company and... this could just be Blue-White Spirits, so it's true. We haven't seen any green yet. Usually they run Noble Hierarch and Collected Company. Well, let's pass the turn. Hold up Assassin's Trophy. If they cast Phantasmal Image, we have to hit the Gitrog Skull Captain. Okay, opponent. It's in for 4. We take it. Attempt to Assassin's Trophy the captain. Resolves. Play a tracker. Opponent Spell Quellers. Sure. We play a forest. Pass the turn. Looks like this might actually be just Blue-White Spirits. Well, we'll have to wait on their turn to trophy. I think they're going to try and go for a big hit. We don't want them to just be able to play a Reflector Mage post-combat and bounce our tracker. Opponent plays a Seachrome Coast. And Supreme Phantom. Okay. Trophy the Queller. Oh, never mind. I did that in the wrong order. Good for me. Play Excavator. Play a land. Fetch forest. Play a sword tooth. Play land. Pass the turn. Opponent plays their third Reflector Mage of the game. Bounces sword tooth. And a Lord. Well, block, take 4, but I think we're done unless we draw Damnation here. Alright. I'm just going to give up. We would probably only gotten 1 card deep, and it wasn't Damnation. So, unfortunately, we did not win that league.